Alright, thanks to these three for helping me out with these reports. Welcome back, folks. Let's start case number 3 of Paris. Making the cut. Senior Trooper Matthew, we've just received a call from the Shior Fashion House. An apprentice seamstress has been murdered in the Shior workshop. I'm assigning you and Officer Mercier to the investigation. Get over there and see what's going on. Avec plaisir. Matthew, visiting the Shior atelier is an honor usually only accorded to the rich and famous. But now we're going to see inside the Shior workshop for ourselves. Allez, ha! Since this one helped me out, I'll do this crime scene with her as my partner. Oh my. Got it. Ooh la! What happened here, Matthew? This must be the apprentice seamstress our caller reported. She's been stabbed. And look at that magnificent bridal gown she's wearing. That's the real crime here. That somebody ruined my dress when they stabbed Beatrice. Monsieur Pilsnerfeld, our paths cross again. Please stand to one side. We'll be with you in a moment. Matthew, if our victim was a seamstress, she might have been working on that sample garment. Let's recover the name to see who it was for, before we question Shior's lead designer. Gonna get stars first, so sit tight, everybody. Alright, I got myself 10 stars. And Le Prince. Matthew, the name on the sample garment is Anne Le Prince. That's Noemi Le Prince, the supermodel. You must have been living under a rock if you haven't heard of her. Mademoiselle Le Prince might just be the most attractive woman I've ever laid eyes on, Matthew. I can't believe we will get to talk to her. Noemi Le Prince. Mademoiselle Le Prince, I'm Officer Mercier, and this is Senior Trooper Matthew. We're delighted to make your acquaintance. Police officers, What a shame you're not in uniform. I've always found that attractive. I'm sure that could be arranged. Senior Trooper Matthew is right. We're here investigating the murder of an apprentice seamstress who worked for Shior. Her name was Beatrice Sanchez. Did you know her? Beatrice is dead? Oh, la Lepover. I had a few fittings with her for the dress I'm wearing in the Chior show. She was a darling thing. I can't imagine who'd want to hurt her. I'll do anything I can to help your investigation, Senior Trooper Matthew. Please take my number. Merci, Mademoiselle Le Prince. I guarantee that we'll be in touch. Are you the person who called in the murder, Monsieur Pilsnerfeld? Yes, I came in after hours to work on Chior's Fashion Week collection. And that's when I found Beatrice lifeless and bleeding all over the dress that was supposed to close the show. You mentioned when you called that Beatrice was an apprentice seamstress here at Chior. Do seamstresses usually try on the clothes they're working on? Quelle question. Of course not. That dress was priceless, not to mention that it took months to make. And now I no longer have a final look for this week's show, all because Beatrice decided to play dress-up. You seem more concerned about your collection than your employee's death, Monsieur Pilsnerfeld. Did Beatrice ever mention having any enemies or feeling in danger? How should I know anything about my underling's lies? Beatrice and I sometimes crossed paths on the rooftop terrace, but I never actually spoke to her. Thank you, Monsieur Pilsnerfeld. Senior Trooper Matthew and I will need to take a look around that rooftop. I don't know why my sinuses seem to be constantly getting tickled. For some reason, it's kind of caused me to get a little sniffly. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna get the first star after all. Alors, this is Chior's rooftop terrace. Very intimate indeed, no? We know the victim spent time up here, so let's see what clues you found. This veil matches the dress the victim was wearing. I should imagine that must be her blood on it too. Our killer must have brought the veil up here after the murder. Can you collect a sample of the blood, Matthew? And let's put that photo back together while we're here. Well, that's certainly our victim in the photo, Matthew. It looks like the photo was taken at a party on this very rooftop, but who is the woman next to her? Let's run the photo through our database to see if we can find a match. Candy Wu. The woman in the photo with our victim goes by the name of Candy Wu. According to our database, Candy's the head seamstress at the Chior workshop. That means our victim might have been her apprentice. Matthew, let's call Mademoiselle Wu to the workshop for questioning.
Are you the cops? I came as quickly as I could. I can't believe that Beatrice is dead. If you don't mind, we have a few questions for you. You're the head seamstress here at Chior, is that correct?
That's correct. Part of my job is mentoring a select few apprentices who I think might have what it takes to make it. Fashion is a cutthroat industry, Senior Trooper Matthew. You need more than just talent. It takes blood, sweat, and tears to master the art of haute couture. Beatrice had both talent and the work ethic to boot. She could have gone far if she hadn't been cut down in her prime. Got it. Matthew, we must get this blood from the veil to Enzo immediately. And now I got stars to collect. So for now, this is Matthew. I'll catch you later.
Okay, we're back. Let's get the results of the autopsy first. Matthew, this well-dressed corpse got me thinking, what are your thoughts on marriage? I can't imagine being a one-man woman myself, or even a one-woman woman, for that matter. Why limit yourself? I don't know. There's a lot to be said for having someone to come home to after a long day. Anyway, what can you tell us about the body we found? Well, firstly, I have no idea how this girl thought she fit in a size 0 dress. Her ample derriere positively split it apart. Secondly, Matthew's assumptions were correct. The victim was stabbed in the chest with a sharp object. Further examination showed traces of frothy instant coffee and milk on your victim's wrists. Since there was none in her stomach, I can only conclude your killer left it there when they checked her pulse. And that means you're looking for a killer who drinks whipped coffee. Anyone who puts milk in coffee is a criminal in my book. Let's catch this whipped coffee drinking killer, Matthew. A topless selfie should do it. Oh, Matthew, I didn't see you come in. Is that a lady that you're messaging by any chance, Enzo? It's that photographer we met during Matthew's first investigation, Lola Dumarie. Let's just say we've been exchanging, messages. Ref, let's talk about that blood you sent me. I can confirm that it was your victim's, which means that it was your killer who left the veil on the rooftop after the murder. And the blood contained traces of cuticle oil from the nail brand Poi, or POI. Your victim's nails were atrocious, which means it must have come from your killer. Poi cuticle oil, you say? That's what manicurists give their clients to use between sessions. I often use it myself. Exactly. Matthew, you're looking for a killer who has manicures. Well, our killer might have manicured nails, but they certainly don't have clean hands, Matthew. Matthew, let's go over what we know so far. We found apprentice seamstress Beatrice Sanchez dead at the Chior workshop. She'd been stabbed in the chest, ruining a priceless dress that was supposed to be the final look at the upcoming Chior fashion show. Chior designer Charles Pilsnerfeld was more concerned about the dress than his employee's death. While head seamstress Candy Wu and supermodel Noemi Le Prince only had good things to say about the victim. Senior Trooper Matthew, I have a lead. What is it, Brigadier Bonnet? I found your victim's address. How about that? And I'll see you guys for Chapter 2. And we've returned with our Chapter 2 of Making the Cut. We last left off here. I found your victim's address. I sent the details to your phones. Good work, Brigadier Bonnet. Let's go investigate the victim's home, Matthew. Got it. Mon Dieu, Matthew. Walking up those 7 flights of stairs to the victim's apartment was hard work. I'm sweating. These small chambre de bonne, as we call them, are former servants' quarters. They're always on the top floor, usually without an elevator. These days, they're mostly rented by students and low-income workers. Evidently, being an apprentice at Chior doesn't pay well. Anyway, that phone you picked up must be the victim's. Can you unlock it? And let's put those metal pieces back together before you recover the writing on that note. Matthew, if there's anything of interest on the victim's phone, Emil will find it. I'm not sure what that is. Matthew, the insignia on the cigar cutter is that of mob head honcho Antoine Macaron. But what would a mobster be doing in the home of an apprentice seamstress? Let's ask Macaron to explain himself. Ah, Senior Trooper Matthew and Officer Mercier. Always a pleasure. What can I do for you? You can tell us what your cigar cutter was doing in Beatrice Sanchez's room. Why so accusing, Officer Mercier? Mademoiselle Sanchez rents one of the many apartments I own. Why do you ask? Because we found Beatrice murdered at her workplace earlier today. Zut! Mademoiselle Sanchez is dead? What a shame. She always paid on time and kept the place clean. But no matter, this is Paris. I'll have 50 people lined up to replace her by the time I've drunk a cup of whipped coffee. This note appears to have been left by a gentleman, Matthew. It says, "Thank you for a wonderful evening, mon petit show." And it's signed by a certain Valentine Faure. How curious that he should have written his full name. Each to their own, I suppose. But if this Valentine was romantically involved with our victim, then we must question him, Matthew. Monsieur Faure, we're investigating the murder of Beatrice Sanchez. We believe that you knew her. Before. Beatrice is dead? That's terrible. What was your relationship to the victim? Beatrice and I met on Timber. We'd only been on a couple of dates, but things were going well. And when was the last time that you saw her? Last weekend, we met in a cafe. I got a whipped coffee and she had a cup of tea. And then, well, one thing led to another and we ended up back at her place. It might sound silly, but I really thought Beatrice might be the one, Senior Trooper Matthew. I can't believe she's just gone. We're sorry for your loss, Monsieur Faure. If we have more questions, we'll be in touch. And I'll see you guys when the victim's phone has run its course. Catch y'all later. We have returned. Let's get the results of the victim's phone from Emil. Hello, Emil. Did you have any luck with the victim's phone? I couldn't find anything of interest at first, but then I checked her QuickCock account. Her KeepCock account. KeepCock? What on earth is that? It's a social media app where young people share video clips. And take a look at what your victim posted. Okay, let's try pinning the dress at the waist. Ouch! You caught me with the pin, you imbecile! I'm sorry, Noemi. I didn't mean to. Let's see how you like being hurt. Ouch! Matthew, did we just see Noemi Le Prince throw a stiletto at our victim for accidentally pricking her at the pin? Yes, and so did the 70,000 people who watched Beatrice's video on KickCock. If Noemi saw this, she'd have the perfect motive to kill Beatrice. It would be such a shame if we had to arrest her. I only just got her phone number. But you're right, Matthew. Duty calls. We must question Noemi the Prince about this video. Mademoiselle Le Prince, you claim your relationship with Beatrice was cordial when we spoke to you earlier, but the video she posted on KitKok suggests otherwise. Ugh, that video. I still can't believe Beatrice posted it. Do you know what they're saying about me in the press? That I have anger management issues. I spent years reading Flame magazine, dreaming of being on the cover, and now my agent says that I might lose everything I've worked for, all because I hurt some apprentices' feelings. So you killed Beatrice in revenge for hurting your career, is that it? No, I fantasized about throwing my piping hot whipped coffee in her face, or clawing her eyes out with my freshly manicured nails, but I couldn't risk doing any more damage to my career. Well, Mademoiselle Le Prince, if we discover that you let your rage get the better of you, it'll cost you more than just your career. Now, Matthew, since we know the killer passed through the rooftop of the victim's workplace, I say we take another look around here. I had to spit, so that's stuff in my mouth. Matthew, this writing pad has suggestions for Beatrice written on it. How curious. Can you vacuum up those flakes on the writing pad to see what it's all about? And if you wish to search for those throw pillows, then go ahead, Matthew. Beatrice Sanchez's killer won't elude us for much longer. Matthew, vacuuming up those flakes revealed a sketch of our victim. Are those suggestions for cosmetic surgery procedures? I have a horrible feeling these suggestions were unsolicited, Matthew. Let's put those flakes under the microscope so we can ask the culprit themselves. cat litter? Pure. Those flakes you collected from the writing pad are cat litter, Matthew. We know that Chior designer Charles Pilsnerfeld goes everywhere with his cat. If Monsieur Pilsnerfeld drew this distasteful sketch of our victim, we had better ask him about it. Monsieur Pilsnerfeld, can you explain the sketch you made of Beatrice? The sketch is self-explanatory, is it not? I like my employees to be attractive enough to grace the cover of a magazine, and Beatrice fell short of my standards. And so you suggested that Beatrice undergo cosmetic surgery? That seems rather extreme. I don't see what the big deal is. I see my surgeon as often as I visit my manicurist. But Beatrice got hysterical, claiming I'd call her unattractive. I try to explain that there's no such thing. Only those who are naturally beautiful are those who need a little help. And do you know what Beatrice replied, Senior Trooper Matthew? That I was ugly inside and out. So you responded by stabbing her to death, did you? Of course not. I simply planned to wait until she made a mistake so that I could fire the insolent creature. Wait a minute, hold on, I gotta try this again. Okay, let's try this again. Got it. Bloody cup. Excellent work, Matthew. That reusable coffee cup you found among the throw pillows is covered in blood. We know the killer came up here. Blah. So now we send it for analysis. And I'll see you guys when that's done. 12 hours. And we return. Let's get the results of the bloody cup right now. So, Enzo, was the blood on that reusable coffee cup our victim's? Yes, it was a match. And that's not all. I found remnants of whipped coffee inside the cup, confirming that it belongs to your killer. So our killer murdered Beatrice and then took their coffee cup up to the rooftop to finish it? People do strange things when they're in such a state, Matthew. Anyway, I was intrigued by the design on the cup, so I decided to see if I could identify it. And I discovered that it was a limited edition design given out to subscribers of Flame, the fashion magazine. Your killer must be a reader, Matthew. So our killer reads the fashion magazine Flame, do they? I hope orange jumpsuits are in this season. You're right, Matthew. Noemi LaPrince mentioned reading Flame, and Charles Pilsnerfeld has been a guest editor, so he must too. I'll add it to their profiles. Matthew, I'd heard that fashion was a tough industry, but it sounds like poor Beatrice was having a horrible time. We have a number of suspects who might have stabbed her to death in the Chior workshop, but which of them actually did it? Supermodel Noemi LaPrince was furious with the victim for posting footage of her losing her temper on KitKat. While the victim's boss, Chior designer Charles Pilsnerfeld, clashed her over her refusal to have cosmetic surgery to fit a certain aesthetic. Matthew, there's been a development in the investigation. What is it, Chief? Someone broke into your victim's apartment. Whoa. We'll find out who in Chapter 3. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we are back. Let's start Chapter 3 of Making the Cut. We last left off with the Chief telling us that the apartment was broken into. Someone broke in your victim's apartment. Yep, that's the one. You need to find whoever it was and see if they tampered with any evidence. On it, Chief. Matthew, let's head over to the victim's apartment at once. Got it. You think that tablet will be a clue? Matthew, it seems safe to assume that lockpicking kit belongs to our intruder. Can you recover the fingerprints? As for that gift box, we should get that lock open and see what's inside. And those leather pieces might be a lead, if we can put them back together. These clues are sure to lead us closer to catching Beatrice's killer, Matthew. Let's hot. Matthew, there was a pincushion in that gift box, and the resemblance to our victim is uncanny. I don't know about you, but this is giving me voodoo vibes. Who would have sent this to our victim? Well spotted. Those are Candy Wu's initials on the bottom. But why would she have sent this to her apprentice? Let's ask her. Mademoiselle Wu, can you explain this pincushion that you sent to the victim bearing her likeness? I'm not proud of what I did, Senior Trooper Matthew, but Beatrice got me in trouble at work. See, a seamstress's job is to make the designer's vision come to life, nothing more and nothing less. But Beatrice got it into her head that Charles's designs could be improved and made a bunch of alterations without telling me. When I presented the garments to Charles, he lost his mind. He accused me of underestimating his genius and suggested I was trying to sabotage his show. There's no talking to him when he's like that, so I just kept quiet and sipped on my whipped coffee while he yelled. After I went for my manicure appointment, but I was so angry I couldn't even focus on the article I was reading in Flame magazine as I waited, and that's when I decided to send Beatrice that pincushion. But I felt terrible about it ever since, Senior Trooper Matthew. I can't believe I was so immature. This keyring belongs to Valentine Farre, the gentleman our victim was dating, Matthew. But it says happy 3rd anniversary on it. According to Valentine, he and Beatrice had only been on a few dates. Something doesn't add up here. We need to question him again. Monsieur Farr, you were gushing over your newfound romance with Beatrice when we spoke earlier. So what's this keyring wishing you a happy 3rd anniversary about? Alright, you got me. I lied when I said I had feelings for Beatrice. I'm already in a long-term relationship with someone else. I just thought dating Beatrice on the side might help my career. Your career? What career? Well, exactly. I'm an aspiring actor, but I can't seem to catch a break. The only work I've done is a commercial for a local nail salon in exchange for free manicures. So when I saw in Flame magazine that the Chior fashion show the Chior show after party is always packed with film execs, I became obsessed with scoring an invite. I couldn't believe my luck when I stumbled upon Beatrice's Timber profile and saw that she worked at Chior. It was all going to plan until Beatrice found that keyring from my girlfriend. She flipped out and said that if I didn't tell my girlfriend that I had cheated, she would. Well, if Senior Trooper Matthew discovers that you killed Beatrice to silence her, you can be sure your girlfriend will learn of your sordid behavior. Got it. Matthew, let's get our intruder's lockpicking set to Emil. He'll tell us who these fingerprints belong to. Nine hours. I'll see you guys when this is done. For now, this is Matthew. I'll catch you later. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of the fingerprints on the lockpicking case. Lockpicking set. You're not going to believe who the fingerprints on this lockpicking set belong to, Matthew. Don't keep us in suspense, Emil. Who broke into our victim's apartment? The fingerprints were a match for mob head honcho Antoine Macaron. What? But Macaron told us he was Beatrice's landlord. Surely he'd own a set of keys to the apartment. There must be more to this than meets the eye, Matthew. We need to question Antoine Macaron. Macaron, we know you broke into Beatrice's apartment. What were you doing there? It's my apartment, and Beatrice had no right to change the locks. I'm sure she didn't change the locks for no reason, so spill it. Alright. I try to do a little business with Beatrice, that's all. I asked Beatrice to procure some Chior bags for my boys to sell on, and in exchange I'd waive her rent for the month. It was a fair deal, but Beatrice turned it down. She told me that she recorded our call, and if I didn't waive her rent permanently, she'd give the recording to you lot. So you broke in to find the recording after you learned she was dead. But why are you admitting to all this? Because Beatrice was bluffing, and without that recording, you don't have enough to charge me. Be that as it may, if Senior Trooper Matthew discovers that you murdered Beatrice, then rest assured that you'll end up behind bars. Matthew, the deeper we delve into this investigation, the more complicated it becomes. We've learned that our victim fought back against mobster Antoine Macaron by blackmailing him after he tried to get her to steal from her workplace. And she threatened to ruin aspiring actor Valentin Faur's relationship after he duped her into believing he had feelings for her just to advance his career. As for Candy Wu, she was furious at Beatrice for getting her into trouble at work. But which of these people was driven to commit murder, Matthew? I agree. We must re-examine the crime scene at once. I'm not gonna get the first star. That took too long. Well, maybe I will get it. Nice. Excellent work, Matthew. We know that our killer has manicures. This cuticle oil must belong to them. If you can collect some of that substance on the bottle, it might lead us straight to them. And we should search for that basket of thread, too. We'll leave no stone unturned in our search for Beatrice's killer, Matthew. I gotta try this again, hold on. Okay, let's try this again. Got it, scissors. Bloody scissors. Matthew, these scissors you found in the basket of thread are covered in blood. This might be our murder weapon. Let's send the scissors to Enzo for confirmation. We must get this substance you collected from the killer's cuticle oil to Enzo, quick! Nine hours. I'll see you guys when these two are finished. So for now, this is Matthew. I'll see you soon. Okay, we're back now. Let's get the results of Bloody Scissors, and let's put a killer behind bars. Enzo, did you take a break from messaging your lady friend long enough to take a look at those scissors Matthew sent you? Of course. I am nothing if not professional, Hugo. Now, not only are the scissors consistent with the type of injury suffered by your victim, the blood was a match too. So we've got our murder weapon, Matthew. Indeed. And I have more good news. Your killer must have been injured in the struggle because I identified blood from a second individual on the murder weapon. It was impossible to separate the killer's DNA from your victim's, but I can tell you one thing. Your killer's blood type is A negative. So we're looking for a killer with A negative blood, Matthew. Their blood will run cold when they see us coming. I won't keep you in suspense, Matthew. The substance you collected from the killer's bottle of cuticle oil was a mixture of aluminum silicate and sodium carbonate. You know very well that I don't know what that means, Enzo. Aluminum silicate and sodium carbonate are the main components of polish, Matthew. More specifically, polish for silver jewelry. Since there were also minute traces of whipped coffee in the polish, I can confirm that it must be your killer who is wearing silver jewelry. Our killer's wearing silver jewelry, are they? Their next accessory will be a pair of handcuffs, Matthew. Matthew, we have all the evidence we need to arrest Beatrice Sanchez's killer. It's time to bring them to justice. It isn't Charles Pilsnerfeld. It is not Nalini LaPrince. Not Antoine Macaron. And it's not Valentine Ford. I had to look at the others first. Yep. Candy Wu, you're under arrest for the murder of Beatrice Sanchez. What? I already told you I had nothing to do with Beatrice's death. And we might have believed you if we hadn't found traces of your blood on the scissors you stabbed Beatrice to death with. You hid them in a basket of thread before grabbing the blood-soaked veil Beatrice was wearing and fleeing to the rooftop with your cup of whipped coffee. How heartless you must be to even think of coffee after robbing someone of their life. I wasn't thinking straight. It was like I was on autopilot. So you confessed to the murder. Why did you do it? Because Beatrice made you look bad in front of Monsieur Pilsnerfeld? No! I killed her because she ruined the dress. Now that you know the truth, I might as well explain what happened. I'd forgotten my phone at the workshop, so I went back thinking nobody would be there. But there was Beatrice, freaking out. She'd shoehorned herself into the dress and split the seams. Ah yes, the infamous dress that was supposed to close the Shiora show. The whole show was created around that dress, Matthew. I worked on it day and night for months, and sewing until my hands bled, and I was too tired to see what I was doing. When I realized that Beatrice had torn it beyond repair, something in me just snapped. I grabbed a pair of scissors on a nearby worktop and I stabbed her once, then twice, and then I just couldn't stop. I don't know what came over me. Excuse me. I'm afraid you'll have to explain your actions to a judge, Mademoiselle Wu. You're under arrest. Candy Wu, you stand before me charged with stabbing Beatrice Sanchez to death. How do you plead? Guilty, Your Honor, but I was overworked and overtired. When I saw what Beatrice had done to my creation, I just lost it. While nothing justifies your actions, I'm willing to accept that you acted out of character due to exhaustion. As such, I order you to serve a communist sentence of 15 years imprisonment. I understand. I'll live with the weight of my actions for the rest of my life. Matthew, not one but two lives were ruined by Mademoiselle Wu's moment of madness. And to think that it all happened over a dress. If only Beatrice hadn't decided to try it on, she might still be alive. Anyway, our job here is done, Matthew. Time to start on the mountain of paperwork. I'll see you guys for An American Cop in Paris 3-5. Okay, we are back. Let's start American Cop in Paris 3-5. Matthew, now that the paperwork for the Sanchez case is done, we can finally relax. Senior Trooper Matthew, I require your assistance. Looks like I spoke too soon. What can we do for you, Monsieur Pilsnerfeld? It's Chior. If you don't help me, my beloved fashion house will crumble. I'm not sure how this is police work, but Senior Trooper Matthew and our colleague, Officer James, will hear you out. And once you are done assisting Monsieur Pilsnerfeld, I would like to speak with you and Enzo, Matthew. Hello, Mr. Pilsnerfeld. What can we do for you? You must save my baby, that is what. If this is about your cat again, it's about Chior. I need to save our Fashion Week show. The show takes place in 48 hours, and since Beatrice got herself murdered, I no longer have a closing outfit, nor a head seamstress to make one. I've started work on a replacement dress, but I've run out of the fabric that I need. I'm sure Beatrice took home the offcuts. Could you go and fetch them for me, Senior Trooper Matthew? Anything to save an historic fashion house. We'll head to the victim's apartment to look for the fabric right away. Whoa, talk about a tiny apartment, Matthew. I lived in places with bathrooms bigger than this back in Los Angeles. Anyhow, back to the job at hand. If you think the wedding dress fabric might be in that fabric bin, then let's search through it. Got it. Beatrice's skirt. Uh-oh, Matthew. We found the fabric in that fabric bin, but it looks like Beatrice had used it to make a skirt. We can't return the fabric to Mr. Pilserfeld like this. We're going to need to unpick the seams. I'm useless with a needle and thread, but Nadia must have a steady hand to sew up cadavers every day. Let's see if she's willing to rescue this fabric for us. Now let's talk to High Commissioner Delacroix. You wanted to see us, High Commissioner? How many times do I have to tell you kids, call me JP. Now I've been thinking about how it'd be nice to have a party to welcome you and Carrie to the PPS, Matthew. I'd intended to organize something myself, but the Board of High Commissioners has sprung a last-minute meeting on me. Yawn. Anyhow, Monsieur Pilserfeld has kindly agreed to allow me to use the rooftop of the Chua workshop for a little shindig between colleagues. And I've heard on the grapevine that you have something of a talent for making cocktails, Enzo. So I was wondering if you and Matthew would take care of the party preparations. Would I like to make cocktails during work hours? Is that even a question? Excellent! I've had all the party supplies delivered to the rooftop already. All you need to do is sort them out. Here's some money for a taxi there. These must be the party supplies the High Commissioner said he'd ordered, Matthew. If you can get that lock open, we can start preparing for the party. Nice. The old man was generous with the alcohol. Now leave this with me, Matthew. I'll have some cocktails fixed up before he can say Sante. Or Song. And 6 hours. I'll see you guys when these two are done. For now, this is Matthew. Catch you later for the party.
Okay, I've moved to my house right now, and let's get the results of the party supplies first. Matthew, try a sip of this cocktail I made with the supplies the High Commissioner ordered, and tell me what you think. Did I overhear the word cocktail, my dear Enzo? You most certainly did. The High Commissioner has asked us to organize a party to officially welcome Matthew and Carrie to the team. Here, give this a try. Egad! There's enough alcohol in this drink to knock out an elephant! Perfect! I'll tell the others to join us at the rooftop once our shift is over. Keep me away from the alcohol. You wouldn't even catch me drinking anything heavier than Coca-Cola. Now Beatrice's skirt. Hello, Nadia. How did it go with the skirt? I hope it didn't take you too long to unpick all the seams. Oh, I didn't do it myself, you funny girl. I have a male friend who enjoys being ordered to do menial tasks. I had him unpick the skirt's seams for me. There are people who enjoy being ordered around. Oh, yes. You could say that they derive pleasure of a sex... Oh, I forgot to mention that we're in a bit of a hurry. If we could just have the fabric, we'll be on our way to see Mr. Pilsnerfeld. Here's the fabric you need to finish the dress, Mr. Pilsnerfeld. You're an angel, Senior Trooper Matthew. The only problem is I no longer have anybody to model the dress. Since Beatrice posted that video on KitKok, Noemi the Prince is refusing to walk in the show. I'm sure she can be talked around, but I really must finish this dress. Could you take care of it, Senior Trooper Matthew? You want us to talk Noemi the Prince into modeling in your show? I heard she's kind of scary. Nonsense! You just need to know how to deal with her. I've bought her favorite eclairs from La Purée. They're around here somewhere. Give those to her and she'll be putty in your hands, as you Americans say. Well, if you're sure, Senior Trooper Matthew, let's take a look around for the sweet treats to sweet talk Miss Le Prince, and maybe we can swipe one for ourselves. Pretty sure I must be in the 200s with my 5-hint stuff. Because it still says 99 plus, and since I don't have criminal case on my tablet, especially since it's an out-of-date one, I have no way to find out. Matthew, that box of eclairs looks like it could be the gift Charles Pilsnerfeld bought for Miss LaPrince. I wouldn't want to risk making her angry by getting it wrong, though. Let's recover the tag to make sure. Well, Matthew, we were right. These eclairs are the ones Charles Pilsnerfeld wants us to give to Miss LaPrince. All that's left to do is see if we can talk Miss LaPrince into modeling in the Chior show. Let's hope she's nice to us. Miss LaPrince, we're here on behalf of Mr. Pilsnerfeld. Charles knows I don't want to talk to him. That is the end of the matter. Well, he asked us to bring this gift, and to let you know that he'd love it if you walk in the Chior show. I already told Charles I am not... Wait, are those eclairs from La Purée? Miam, delicious. So, does this mean you'll model the dress at the Chior show? I suppose I might as well. Now be gone, Senior Trooper Matthew, and here are my hairdresser's contact details. You're in desperate need of a trim. Matthew, when I came to Paris, I never imagined the legendary Charles Pilsnerfeld would need my help to save his show. But we found the wedding dress fabric he needed and convinced Noemi LaPrince to model for him. Anyway, where is everyone, Matthew? Weird, I just got a message from Hugo asking me and you to meet him at the Chior rooftop. We better go see what he wants. I know you're gonna like it, Carrie. Carrie, Matthew, surprise! What's all this? We thought it'd be nice to officially welcome you and Matthew to the PPS with some drinks between colleagues. Or as we call it here in France, an after work. I'm not really one for parties, so I won't stay for long. But I must say, I'm delighted to have the pair of you on the team. You need to learn how to let your hair down, Chief. When was the last time you did something fun, like go on a date? Speaking of dates, I have an announcement to make. I finally created a profile on that dating app. I'll toast to that. Cheers, Matthew. Matthew, I'm really starting to feel at home here in Paris. With you guys by my side, I feel sure that I'm going to find my brother. And the more that I think about it, the more I'm convinced that our best bet is to try and befriend Eleonora, the daughter of mobster Antoine Macaron. Matthew, I have news on that front. The D'Anjou family is hosting their annual party at their chateau tomorrow. It's the highlight of the year, so Eleonora is sure to be invited. A chance to get closer to finding my brother while partying up at a real-life chateau? Count me in, Matthew. That means I'm pretty much caught up, I'm pretty sure. 23rd, yes. That's in 6 days. So I'm going to open the sticker packs in another part. And I will be fusing all these together. I know I really gotta start catching up, but by the time I post this, I will be caught up. Nice. Okay. And I'll see you guys for case 4 in Paris City of Romance on July 23rd. Au revoir.